Creative Brain Candy, by creators for creators.
I'm just saying, somewhere, someone in this galaxy is ruling and others are being ruled. I mean, look at your race. Do you really think all those people that died in wars fought by Mandalorians actually had a choice? So how are they any different than the Empire? Look, if you were born on Mandalore, you believe one thing. If you're born on Alderaan, you believe something else. But guess what? Neither one of them exists anymore. Hey, I'm just a realist. I'm a survivor, just like you.
Let's get one thing straight. You and I are nothing alike.
I don't know, seems to me like your rules start to change when you get desperate. I mean, look at you. You said you couldn't take your helmet off, and now you got a stormtrooper one on, so what's the rule? Is it that you can't take off your Mando helmet, or you can't show your face? Because there is a difference. Look, I'm just saying. We're all the same. Everybody's got their lines they don't cross until things get messy. As far as I'm concerned, if you can make it through your day and still sleep at night, you're doing better than most.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week, we discuss the next to the last episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. That's actually another good episode. I'm not sure why they decided to cram all the really good episodes at the end of the season and just waste the first 6 fucking episodes, but that's what they did. As we discuss chapter, what is it, 15? The Believer? Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
I believe that's what it is. So...
Sure.
But first, he's the no-nonsense
say.
guard droid who will tase you if you don't respect his authority in 3 seconds. To my grumpy Republic Marshal who insists on punching everything in her path, it's James. How you doing, James?
That's the most accurate intro for me you've ever done. You will respect my authority.
And he's the guy who sweats excessively in his stormtrooper armor. It's Rob. How you doing, Rob?
That's also the most accurate intro you've ever done.
Yeah, you know, you gave him those fucking fudge rounds, and he's going to be eating them for every episode. How many were in that box?
6, but I can only eat half at a time. I'm finishing off the one from yesterday.
That's the one from yesterday.
So 12 episodes. We got 12 episodes of this shit. Thank you, James.
You're very welcome. You are. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm here for Rob. I really am, and so is everybody else. I just want to hear him. Jesus Christ, fucking make mouth love to that goddamn fudge round.
Oh my God, mouth love. That's funny. All right, James, what's happening around CBC this week?
Fudge round.
Oh my God. Before we get, all right, nicely done, Rob. It's in your mouth. I don't know how it's going to call you. Before I get to the CBC goings on this holiday season. Last night on the Creative Brain Candy Brainstorm holiday special, which was much better than the Star Wars holiday special.
Which, for those listening, was on Saturday.
Yes. I was stunned and not really prepared for what happened. There was something that was directed towards me that I wasn't prepared for, and as a result, some of the things that I said may need some clarification.
The hell?
Yeah, and so I'd like to take this opportunity to address some of the comments that I made and possibly offer an apology for whom those comments were directed. Gina, I was not prepared for you to send me lots of love. I was stunned. I was shocked into silence. And honestly, I couldn't hear it at first. I didn't know what you were saying because Jason is not IT. And so once I heard it, after the show had aired, oh, Gina Gershon, call me. I have all the love you sent me, baby. And I'm so sorry I couldn't hear it the first time. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm waiting. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here forever. And when the Rona's done.
Is this what a coronary sounds like?
Anyway, that was yeah. Call me. Going on around CBC at the end of this week, for those of you who are listening to it when this actually comes out on Saturday, December 19th, 2020, at 9 p.m. now. 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 p.m. BTZ or Central Time, best time zone, at 9 p.m. Eastern, and whatever that is, Pacific, 6?
6 o'clock Pacific.
Math's hard. Yeah. The Bad Gamers Anonymous podcast is doing their annual award show, The Crowleys. Make sure you tune in live on Twitch, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific, and find out what games win what awards. There are going to be lots of different presenters. It's going to be a good time. And there will be a special guest acceptance speaker for all of the awards, so you're not going to want to miss that. So Gina, tune in, baby. Tune in to the Crowleys, and you will have a surprise.
We're going to have to deal with this all episode.
I'm regretting lots.
I am
of love.
regretting this gift I gave you.
Yeah, I think this was a bad idea. We've really opened up the door for him to use his creepy voice.
You know what? What? Next Christmas, you're getting fucking Dave Filoni, baby.
I figured I'll be honest.
I'm going to get Dave Filoni to call you.
I thought
either
it was either going to be Freddie Prinze. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Freddie Prinze Jr. at first when you were like, "Oh, he's got something he's going to play," and I'm like, "Is this a cameo?" And at first I was like, "Is it Christina Hendricks?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't even know if she's on there." And I didn't even think past that. Immediately, I went to Freddie Prinze Jr. or Dave Filoni. And I'm like, "Well, the fucking cowboy hat guy's not going to be on there, but maybe Freddie Prinze Jr. because he needs money to get Sarah Michelle Gellar something nice for Christmas."
Yeah. Have you seen their commercial for doing the dishes every night or whatever?
I have.
No.
He looks freaking old.
Well, he is old. His wife, on the other hand, is
old.
hot.
Smoking
But
hot.
Gina,
Still hot, yes.
not as hot as Gina. Oh, Gina Gershon, I have all the love you sent me, baby. I'm keeping it in a box.
Oh, that's gross. That's gross. Moving on, Rob. You got
it with a straight face.
Rob, you got any news for us this week?
Well, the first news item I have is I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
But that's because you ate that fudge round, you dumbass.
No. Yeah, first one, I've got some Star Wars news. Sounds like they are in talks with Lars Mikkelsen, who was in Rebels. Specifically, he was the voice of Thrawn in Rebels. They are looking to get him for the live-action version of Thrawn. So
In what
that'll
show?
be,
Wait.
I don't know.
It's just, no, so, yeah, it would have to be Ahsoka, right?
I would think, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, probably, because they did confirm that Ahsoka was happening.
Well, they confirmed a lot of shit's happening.
Yeah, at their
and
investor
honestly,
thingamajig.
I'm interested in about 1% of it.
I'm interested in, I think, two things: Kenobi and maybe Ahsoka.
That would be the only two things that I might actually want to watch. Bad Batch, I could give two shits about.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't even know why they're doing that. That was what, like 2 or 3 episodes that they were in Clone Wars, and they're doing a whole fucking spinoff on them.
Oh, I didn't even know they showed
shit.
them in another show. I have no.
They were
have no
Clone
idea
Wars.
what any of that shit is. So.
Yeah, in fact, at the end of the trailer for the Bad Batch, it has the Clone Wars logo, and then that burns off, and underneath of it's the Bad Batch.
Right.
It's just stupid. I fucking dumb. I don't know what Disney's doing. Kathleen Kennedy can eat a dick. I'm really just over all of it, especially if Dave Filoni has anything to do with anything.
Well, it seems like he's running the creative show over there at this point.
Well, the next thing I'm gonna hear is that they're gonna give Freddie Prinze Jr. a fucking live action thing, and then I'm out for goods. Like I won't talk about Star Wars. I'll sell my memorabilia and or burn it in a fire. So I just don't get it. It's too much Star Wars. We really need to just take a break and be done with it. I don't even care about the Cassian Andor thing. Like
Jason
fucking
Bourne in
just dumb.
space?
Just dumb. How is it Jason? Look, we know he dies. We know his end story, right?
Well,
So
it's
why-
done by the same guy
what
who
do I
did the
care
Bourne
about the-
series.
It won't be Jason Bourne in space.
That was a joke, idiot.
He wasn't that cool.
Who, Cassian
Jason
Andor?
Bourne's cool.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. No, he's not that cool.
I
It
don't
was
know.
a good movie. Rogue One was a good movie, but it's not Jason Bourne good.
No, it's not.
Okay. And that character's not anywhere near as cool as Jason fucking Bourne.
Well, not yet. Give it time.
Are you going to watch it?
No.
Like how much of this bullshit that they're putting out are you going to watch, Jason? Just
Two
Ahsoka and Obi?
shows. Yeah. 2 shows.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to go on the list?
Probably not.
Good. I want to be done with Star Wars with status. I really do. I'm all for doing Star Trek. I think that those are pretty consistent across the board, despite what you say and how you censored that work of art that Rob gave you for Christmas. I
pornographic
would like
work
to
of
see,
art?
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I almost bought you a Discovery piece of wall art. I really did. I almost, but I didn't. I went with what I went with. But yeah, I just think Star Trek is more consistent across the board with everything that they've done since the original series to Discovery.
Well, okay.
With Star Wars is all over the place. Like some of it's good and some of it's shit.
So I think a lot of Star Trek, a lot of the Star Trek shows are crap. DS9,
Like what?
not really good. Voyager sucked.
It was
Enterprise
oh
sucked.
Voyager's terrible. Yeah, Enterprise was okay. I don't know why Enterprise got all the hate it did, especially now in the days of retconning everything. Like as far as as far as I'm concerned, Enterprise was ahead of its time, retconning all of the bullshit that they retconned.
So they're a leader in how to write shit. Okay,
Cutting
gotcha.
edge. Yeah, cutting edge.
They are the forefront. They are at the forefront, man. They are the pioneers.
I think they call it bleeding edge now.
Yeah.
They were bleeding edge. Yeah.
What else you got for us, Rob?
The only other big thing is, the Disney had their investor showcase thing, and a bunch of shit was out there. Go look it up.
Or you can just go to our
dates.
Discord and read Jason's play-by-play.
Yeah, there's release dates coming out, and ridiculous. But,
So I liked a lot of
that's
what they
all
showed.
the internet is talking about.
Yeah, I liked a lot of what they showed for the Marvel universe. I thought those were fairly
that looks
interesting.
fantastic.
So the one thing. Okay, so the only one Star Wars thing that I'm kind of intrigued in is the Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins. I think that'll be kind of interesting because she did pretty good with Wonder Woman. We'll see how 84 is.
Again, I think 84 is going to suck.
Really?
I think 84 is going to suck.
Man, I don't. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Let me ask you why. Is it
Because
they're
everything
bringing
that I've
back
seen
Captain
in the
Kirk?
trailers just looks ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but it's
Your
a
mom
comic
looks
book.
ridiculous.
No, I understand it's a comic book, but even for comic book standards, it looks ridiculous. First, I want to know how they brought what's his face back. I think that was a horrible choice. And second,
Why is that a
I'm
horrible
not going to
choice?
say
I love
aliens,
Captain Kirk.
but
I like Captain Kirk too, but I mean, it just totally
time travel,
Oh my god!
Time travel.
mirror universe.
Oh my god!
It's part of the DCEU. The
Yeah, there you
Flash
go.
went in and went to another.
Okay,
That
we'll
might,
see.
actually that might be a really good way to do it. And then, like, have you guys seen all this stuff where they're shitting on Joss Whedon right now?
Why?
Everyone in the DC universe is shitting on Joss Whedon, and I don't know if it's to try to like make people look the other way from what Warner Brothers did by saying we're just going to release everything in 2021 on HBO Max, or if it's like legit. So one of the actors, somebody on the set of Justice League, filed a complaint against Joss Whedon and the two producers who were constantly on the set.
Oh, wasn't that the guy who played Cyborg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
all kinds of stuff that they were doing. And then Warner Brothers told him, yeah, okay, so we investigated and we took remedial action. What the fuck does that mean, Warner Brothers? Remedial action. And he's
They're
like,
going to release the Snyder cut. That was their remedial action. Yeah. Yeah.
So Patty Jenkins came out in an interview and said that basically what Snyder did to the DC universe was shit on it. Or not Snyder, Joss Whedon, because he didn't give a fuck about the other movies that they were making. So he wasn't trying to make a coherent universe. He was trying to rewrite things the way he wanted it. And he didn't talk to any of the other directors. He didn't talk to any of the other actors. He just kind of did his own thing. And Patty Jenkins is like the rest of us who are making all of these movies, Aquaman and Wonder Woman and the Flash movie. Like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. And so when it was Snyder who was in charge, there was this coherent, like cohesive thing. So it's like all this infighting in DC. And I'm almost, half of me is like, well, they just paid Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman $10 million to say good things about releasing the movie to
they
HBO
did.
Max. Yeah.
And then they didn't pay anybody else. Nobody else got paid.
Yeah. They paid
Nobody,
them each
none of the
$10
other,
million.
none of the other directors or producers or anything like that for any of the other movies that are getting released in 21 got a piece at all.
Which, look, I'm all about Gal Gadot getting as much money as she wants. Like, I'm all about that. But come on, guys. You guys made, I think it's a smart business decision. I really do. I think this is the future. I know, Jason, I like to go to movies. I don't like people in general, except Gina Gershon. Gina, I have all that love, baby. But everybody else can eat a dick. I don't care. I don't want to go to the movies. I'd rather sit at home on my couch, pay the $20 for the movie to watch it right away. And I don't have to drive home. I don't have to spend $50 on fucking popcorn. I don't have to do any of that bullshit.
But
and I don't have to listen to people. What?
Warner is going even farther though. They're not charging. They're not like Disney where they're going to charge $20 so you can stream it at the same time that it's released in theaters.
Good.
Warner's just releasing it on HBO Max at the same time it's in theaters. They are going to lose a huge chunk of change with this model. Now it'll be interesting to see.
No, they won't, because here's why. They have also gotten rid of the free trial of HBO Max.
Okay.
There is no longer a free trial. So you can't get in.
But you have to understand, once you've got those subscribers, I mean, you're only going to get so many subscribers. You're going to saturate your subscriber base at some point. And at $15 a month,
but they're banking on the fact that they're
at $15 a month, and that's not including subscribers like me who get it for free because I have an AT&T unlimited plan. But at $15 a month, you're going to saturate your subscriber base, and then you're not going to get any more money per month. But you're still going to be making these, $100 million movies every year, multiples of these. You're eventually not going to be able to recoup that cash.
I honestly think that if Warner Brothers is able to put out one movie a month that everybody wants to see, then it's not a big deal. Yeah, people will tune in. Absolutely. So,
but they make more than one movie a month. That's what I'm saying. They have dozens of releases a year.
But if they make a movie that everybody wants to see, like everybody wants to see it every month, they're gonna get a shit ton of those, whatever it is a month, $15 a month. And look, $15 a month might just be the lead, and they may up it to 25 or 30. I mean, look, Hulu keeps going up in price every fucking year. Netflix keeps going up in price every fucking year. I mean, so
yeah, but
these subscription services is the future.
But they're only like half the cost. I mean, there is price sensitivity. There is a point where people will stop paying for something because it's too expensive.
Yeah, I think Disney Plus is
not worth it anymore. Is that why you only charge nickels?
Yeah, I mean, I know my market.
All I'm saying is, I think subscription models are not a bad way to go. I think it is the future. It also makes it so you're not making as many shit movies and you're really focusing on the good movies. So I think it's going to be, I mean, if they really go to a content or quality over quantity type of they are judicious in what movies they put out, and they hit a wide range of audiences. They put out 2 action movies a year. They put out 2 rom-coms a year. They put out 2 dramas a year. They put out, 2 whatevers a year. I think that it will work. I do. I don't.
And it might.
This is the future.
And we'll see, because this is new ground that we're breaking here. But also look at the other equation. Look at the content creators. Look at the directors and the actors who want to put their stuff out on a big screen. If Warner Brothers is the studio who is not going to put stuff out on the big screen anymore, or is not going to focus on big screen first, they're not going to get the creators that are wanting that for their work.
This pandemic is changing a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And I don't think, even with the vaccine, I don't think it's going to get better until 2022, 2023.
Sure.
Until people can start really going out the way we did before COVID, right? So this is a couple of years thing. And in a couple of years, unless the movie theaters get a bailout from the government, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, they're going to go away. Like, you're already seeing that. There are theaters that are just not going to be able to make it.
There's a lot of small independent theaters that have already folded because they didn't have the revenue stream and didn't have the savings to stay in business. And that's unfortunate, because I mean that hurts a lot of small businesses, a lot of small rural communities, a lot of people who relied on those jobs and that income.
Right, because something that doesn't get talked about a lot is the legs of a movie, right? Everybody talks about the legs of the movie when it first comes out, when it was in the theater for X amount of weeks. Well, after it's in the main theaters for X amount of weeks, before it goes to subscription services, before it goes to streaming services, before it goes to video, DVD on demand, all of that stuff, it goes to smaller secondary theaters.
Right.
And those are the theaters that are
those dollar theaters and that kind of stuff.
Right. So that's the market that's probably going to get hit the hardest, and we will see that go away, which then should translate into us getting it sooner at home. But all that remains to be seen. Regardless, whatever. I think I'm really looking forward to Wonder Woman because I get to sit at home. I don't have to be around anybody. I can not wear pants, which is perfect because, Gal Gadot's on the screen.
Well, and you've tried not wearing pants at the theater and they frowned upon that. So
I can't go to the theater now. So it's just perfect.
All right. Who's ready for a pod crawl?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
We open the episode with Mayfeld on a prison planet tearing apart an old TIE fighter. A droid guard comes over to harass him a bit before Kara shows up to let him know he's coming with her to do a job. Mayfeld has some Mandalorian anxiety as Boba exits Slave 1, and then makes his overalls even browner when he sees Din exit. Din, Kara, Boba, and Fennec need him for his Imperial protocol knowledge and credentials, so they can get coordinates to where Moff Fring is holding Baby Yoda. Mayfeld says he needs a terminal, and there just so happens to be one on Morak, a planet full of explosive ore that the old Empire is, of course, mining. Once there, the plan is for Mayfeld and someone else to infiltrate the base posing as an imp, get the info, and slip out. Unfortunately, Din hangs around a bunch of shady types as no one but him and Mayfeld are able to enter the base without the might of the Empire crashing down on their heads. Also unfortunately, Din can't wear his Mando armor inside. He comes up with a clever plan to abscond some stormtrooper armor, thus still concealing his face and blending in at the same time. Mayfeld and Din commandeer an ore transport and head to the refinery. On the way, some pirates that don't actually pirate ships start attacking transports and blowing them up. Seems like a crazy way to make a living as a pirate, but whatever. Din and Mayfeld's transport is the last in line, and Din hops the top to do a little highway surfing while taking out dozens of Penzance's finest before getting ultimately bailed out by a couple of TIE fighters. Once inside, they are hailed as heroes as they make their way to the terminal where Mayfeld nopes the fuck out because he sees a former boss and isn't sure if he would get a good reference from him. The problem is the terminal requires a facial scan to activate, but Din is an impatient man, takes the galactic USB drive and heads to the terminal. Because he's dumb, he tries the terminal with his helmet on. Because the terminal is not dumb, it says nope. So Din, for the love and affection he has for Baby Yoda, despite his unlovable and tragic name, takes his helmet off, and scans into the terminal. He grabs the coordinates and is immediately harassed by Mayfeld's boss. Fortunately, Mayfeld felt around in the stormtrooper armor and found his balls and comes to save Din from the interrogation. The boss invites the two transport heroes for a drink, where Mayfeld unloads some baggage and shoots his old boss. Din and Mayfeld kick out a window while mowing down Imperials, because they are by far the best shots in the place, and escape outside while Kara and Fennec cover them from the high ground. Boba swoops in with Slave One to pick everyone up, and Mayfeld sends a parting fuck you as they fly away. The episode almost ends without blatant fan service, so Boba dispatches a couple of TIE fighters with a seismic charge, making fans squeal like schoolgirls and bringing balance to the universe. Mando changes back into Mando mode. Kara lets Mayfeld go, because one good deed helping when you really have no other choice qualifies for a pardon, and roll Mando sending an "I'm coming for you" fuckhead message credits.
Nice.
It's so well done. That is so well done.
So I did like the seismic charge or the sonic
Of course
charge.
you did, you fucking
you know,
fanboy.
It makes a fuck
was
ton more
interesting.
sense when it's in the atmosphere as opposed to out
Well,
in
yes,
space.
yes, yeah. Yeah.
I sat there and I went, wait,
I'm
why
still
is it
not quite
silent?
sure. Yeah. Oh,
Because it went
it-
silent first, right? Like it sucked all the
Yeah.
sound out, and I'm like, wait, that makes sense in space. It doesn't make sense here.
But then it went the
Yeah, 'cause that's how-
yeah.
Well, yeah, but that
Yeah,
shouldn't have
like
happened in
from-
space.
No, that shouldn't
anyway.
have happened in space. No, the whole seismic charge in space from what was it? The Attack of the Clones.
Two.
Yeah.
Clone.
Yeah, two.
Attack of the Clones.
And
yeah.
that was all fucking stupid. The seismic
don't-
charge in
Yeah.
space
I don't-
was stupid.
But I don't recognize anything that happened before the last 15 minutes of that movie as canon.
Yeah.
So
What
it
I
never
don't,
really
what I
happened.
don't get, yeah, and what I don't get is why is it still in a ring? I mean, it should be a ball, but that's fine.
Yeah, it should have been a
Whatever.
ball. That's what I thought too. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Well, so
yeah, it should
I
have
think you could probably shape the explosion into a ring.
shape sound into a ring.
No, you can shape explosion.
Shape
So
sound. No,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
sound.
seismic.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's a
an
seismic charge.
It's
not an
it's a
explosive.
sound.
you can
Yeah.
shape sound, Rob. That's how fucking surround sound works.
No.
Yes.
No,
No,
it comes
not
from
the-
different speakers.
It still goes out. It just comes out different speakers, but it still goes
Yes.
out in a pattern, not
It goes
a ring.
out in a conical pattern, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not a ring.
you can also
Not a ring.
so sound is determined by vibration of air molecules. So you can
Okay, yeah.
shape the way that those air molecules are vibrated from the
Look,
initial
Bill Nye.
point from the initial source, and it will
Make a
spread.
seismic charge. Make
It
it.
will
Make
s-
it. Make it curve.
It will
Make it a ring.
fuck both of y'all.
Make it a ring, Bill Nye. Make it a ring.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Smash it.
I
Sandwich
mean,
it. Make it nice
you
and thin.
obviously understand the science behind it better than we do. Make it a ring. I just, if you do
Make
that,
it- make it happen.
The argument goes away.
Yeah.
I hear it typing
oh no.
furious- yeah,
Oh no.
he's
Oh
typing
no. I hear it.
furiously.
I
He's
hear it in the
either looking
background.
for new hosts or he's
I've been looking for new hosts. Nobody wants to podcast with me.
oh shit. Yeah, I don't yeah, it was silly. It was fan service. I was just I knew what it was as soon as it happened. Like, really? You couldn't have just fired fucking missiles like that? What the fuck is
What?
going
No,
on
he used
here?
them all. He's inside his ship. Okay, you can't shoot missiles from your kneecaps while you're inside the ship.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to
Yeah.
use the seismic charges.
Yeah, I don't. It was dumb. It was just dumb.
You take that back. Okay, it was awesome.
It was dumb. The whole
Okay.
episode
All right, that's
overall was the whole episode overall was really good.
Yes, and
It was.
so I'm kind of torn on this episode, and I'll find the ring explosion stuff later and post it in the show notes. But because I know that
Okay.
I know that there
He's got to write it up reil fast. He has to write
Yeah.
the document.
Yeah, I gotta make the
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia entry. So Wikipedia holder of all knowledge. Yeah. So I'm conflicted because the Mayfeld character, I was not a fan of his in the first episode, mostly because he was a one-dimensional character that really didn't do anything other than shoot things and make sarcastic comments. But they actually fleshed out the character and, made it plausible as to why they needed to bring him back. Now, part of it was the credentials, and I'm not exactly sure why he would still have active Imperial credentials after, being gone from the Empire for so long, but we'll gloss over that. The fact that he knew
of that?
Well, the fact that he knew Imperial protocol and came in there and was able to, bail Din out through his knowledge of Imperial protocol and regulations. I think that more than secured his place as to why he was there in the episode.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, if he was part of the Empire and then the Empire fell, like who's taking his credentials out?
Well, but we don't know that he was not away from the Empire before it fell, right?
No, but we don't know that he was. I don't think I might be wrong, but I don't think they ever addressed that.
But in my head canon here, it sounded like he was on board until this little skirmish that they talked about today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So and it sounds like that skirmish happened towards the end of the war, because at that point in time they were doing scorch earth tactics and anything and everything to make it difficult. So I'm thinking he after that, and then the Empire fell, he's like, "Yep, I'm out." And he's not one of those imps for life type of people.
Yeah, no, I think he started to question it afterwards. Like Jason said, they fleshed the character out. And everybody, the whole thing with Star Wars is always a redemptive story, right? Like that's the whole fucking spiel of Star Wars. It's redemption. It is Darth Vader gets redeemed. Kylo Ren gets redeemed. Like that's the overall arc. I mean, there wasn't really any redemption in 1, 2, or 3, but that's because Lucas can't write his way out of a fucking wet paper bag. But that's the overall. So I liked it. I liked that he got that redemption, and he got it in a very violent way. I really dug.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, right?
Right, and that's just
or live with yourself at the end of the day. Yeah,
it really goes to that character, and I really, really, really like this episode a lot. It's just sad that this season's only 3 episodes long.
I know it really is because this is probably as good an episode, if not even a little bit better, because I think the writing was tighter in this episode than the last episode. Now, it wasn't quite as well directed as Robert Rodriguez, but Robert Rodriguez is a directing god. So, I mean, I'll give it a pass for that. But yeah, I thought it was much better written. I mean, it flowed well. It made sense.
Who wrote the episode?
I think it was the same guy who directed it, Fumiyawa.
Yeah, so it wasn't Filoni.
No, it wasn't Filoni.
You can always tell, or Favreau. You can always tell when Filoni has his fucking fingers in shit. And this episode, you could tell he didn't. It was just that good from start to finish. And I get you had to throw the fan service in there. That's fine, whatever. But this episode was probably, for me, the strongest this season. Yeah. And I really liked the one that we covered last week. I thought the one that Rodriguez did was fantastic. This one was even better. And honestly, it sets it up for me to be completely disappointed in the season finale this next week.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that Fett made his armor fit him better.
Yeah, he cleaned up his armor. He repainted it.
He repainted it. It looked like he repaired it. I was gonna say he put a different. He attached it to a different undercarriage, so it doesn't look like a fat man in a Speedo.
I read an article where somebody was saying that actually fits into canon as to why it's clean now and it was never clean before. Because if you go back and you look at Empire, he's wearing and it was fucked up in Return of the Jedi for the 3 minutes he was in that.
What's the reason for this?
Well, so because he was basically Darth Vader's merc of choice, his bounty hunter of choice, he was always busy, like always busy. he was literally going from job to job to job, and sometimes had 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. And because of that, he never had time to clean his armor. And now that he got it back, all he's doing is fucking chauffeuring goddamn Mando around the fucking galaxy. So he's got time to fucking clean his armor and make it look nice and shiny and make it fit better. Because it's been a minute since he wore it.
Yeah, he didn't fix that fucking dent in his helmet, though. And if that's Beskar, what in the fuck made that dent?
Beskar?
So
only
Beskar can dent Beskar? Is that what it is?
Beskar bullets, man. Yep. Yeah, Beskar bullets. It's like Wolverine and his adamantium bullet. He gets to the head.
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he fought Wolverine. Maybe Wolverine's adamantium can... there's a question. Can adamantium go through Beskar?
That's a good question.
Well, we might find that out. You know, there might be a Star Wars X-Men crossover at some point in time.
I don't give a shit. I was just wanting to see if you two idiots would try to answer it. Yep, you did. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. So speaking of the Beskar armor, I liked how they showed that how much Mando relies on that armor during his fights at the very beginning there, when he's trying to block this thing and pieces are just falling off.
He tries to block a blow with fucking plastic armor.
Yeah.
And, whoops, nope, can't do that.
Right.
Well, it's
and he
muscle
goes,
memory.
Yeah,
though.
he goes, oh
like,
shit, yeah, that's right. I gotta, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I know it's muscle memory, but I think it's cool that they showed that he relies on that to block lancing blows and things like that with his armor, and then he forgets that he's not in it, and then all of a sudden he changes his tactics. Yeah, and he's like doing the leg sweeps and launching harpoons at dudes. That was awesome.
Yeah, but that fight scene on top of the transport, well, I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah, that's one of the better fight scenes we've seen this season.
It was more action-packed than the Ahsoka Tano fucking bullshit duel we got. Like, Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, and see, even in that scene, they still, they were cutting around like what they did in the Ahsoka battle, but it made a little bit more sense, and it never really stopped, right? It always picked back up right where it was. It wasn't like, they're still standing there looking at each other type of deal.
Let me just throw this out there. Let me throw this out there for those of you that listen to this show. You could take this for whatever it's worth. Maybe one of you works for Favreau. I doubt it, but maybe one of you works for Kathleen Kennedy. Like, if you do, I'm sorry. But maybe somebody out there can get this to somebody in charge. If we're going to have an Ahsoka series, okay, if that's what we're going to do, if that's the direction we're fucking going, can we please get an episode directed by Quentin Tarantino?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because if
would that be allowed? I mean, we're talking PG-13.
I know, but imagine that fight that we didn't get to see against the gun runner, whatever the fuck she was, the governess. Imagine that fight scene directed by a Quentin Tarantino. Shit, imagine it directed by a Robert Rodriguez.
Just imagine the soundtrack of that show if Tarantino directed it.
All I'm saying is, if you want a
would
fight
Uma Thurman
scene to
show up?
Oh, I hope so.
Maybe, yeah. Or Gina Gershon. Oh, Gina, lots of love, baby.
In the yellow jumpsuit.
Gina in the yellow jumpsuit. I'm all for it.
Kill Bill or Ahsoka?
Ahsoka. She has a lightsaber. It would go through the steel.
She doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, well, only depending on who directs the episode.
And she wouldn't have Jedi powers because she hasn't used them. So
I don't know how to use the Force anymore. Right. Derp. So that's all I'm saying is get somebody to direct these episodes that make sense. The Robert Rodriguez directing the last episode made sense for what you wanted to do with it. The guy who directed this episode made sense for what you wanted to do with it. The episode with Ahsoka Tano where she was supposed to have this fight scene didn't make sense for who you had direct it. They didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino would have killed that. I mean, he would have had just a ton of dudes going up against Ahsoka, and she would have just mowed them down. It doesn't matter. You could tell Tarantino, look, you can have violence. If you want to have that amount of violence, it'll have to be against droids. But this final battle, like, you can go nuts. We just can't do a lot of blood.
but you can have it choreographed the way you want. You can shoot it the way you want. The pacing would have been so much better. So, I mean, that's been the biggest problem with this series this season has been the pacing. And a lot of that, I honestly believe, has to do with who's writing each episode, because it's a different writer almost all the time. Who's directing the episodes, it's a different director all the time. And sure, while Favreau and I guess Filoni have their fucking fingers in it, like Filoni's not the guy that you want at the end of the day making these decisions. Just let Favreau do it. Let him figure out what's going to work best. And even the filler episodes will be good, even if you put them in the first 2 episodes of the goddamn season. They'll be better because they're directed by people who can direct things the way that you want it to go based on what's going to happen in the story. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. I don't get some of the direction that this season has gone. It doesn't make much sense to me. And so literally it's a 3-episode season. I don't even count the fucking Ahsoka episode, which should have been like the episode. That should have been like a big fucking episode, but it just fell flat because of what they did with her. Where this episode, which is, I mean, they take a character from what you consider to be one of the worst episodes last season, and they turn him in to something that even you're like, wow, like they made him an actual character. They did something really, really special with this episode, and they should have been able to do that with Ahsoka instead of just being fan service.
Yeah, one of the reasons I want to see the new Ahsoka series is just to see if they're going to do kind of the same thing that they've done with The Mandalorian, where it's just a adventure of the week kind of thing, or if they're going to keep a consistent story. I also want to see if I'm sure that Filoni is going to be writing all of those episodes because Ahsoka is like his character. And I think anything that Ahsoka is involved in, he has to be involved in. But it'll be interesting to see if he also directs that show too, because if he directs that show, I just don't see it taking off. I just don't see it doing well. Unless he can overcome that fucking learning curve really fucking quick. I just don't see that show making it.
Yeah, because he's an animation kind of guy. I mean,
I think you underestimate Star Wars fans.
Well, and I might
really
be.
do.
Well, they're gonna eat it up, but
or maybe overestimate them, and they're discerning. They buy any kind of bullshit that's got Star Wars slapped on it. Why do you think there are oranges out there that you could buy that have the fucking Star Wars logo on the bag?
Well, that's because
they
Disney
buy that shit.
Licensed to everything.
So you can buy it?
No, I don't have that. Look, there's a
because they haven't
limit
put Baby
to my
Yoda
fandom
on it. That's the only reason.
No, well, yeah, maybe there's a limit to my fandom, and I think there should be a limit to other people's fandom, but that's just me. People need to become more discerning with what they are willing to put up with. I didn't watch Voyager when it was out live because it was shit. I waited until streaming and then I watched the whole series. I didn't watch.
Why?
Because I'm a Star Trek fan.
It got better.
I want to see it.
And it got better.
And yeah, it did get better, but it was rough for the first 5 seasons. Like 6 seasons. How many seasons were there? 7?
7 seasons.
7 seasons.
6.5 seasons. It was pretty rough. Then that last half season was pretty good. Like, I'm not a big fan of Voyager. I like DS9 a lot. I think that got much better later on with the Dominion War and whatnot. So DS9 is okay in my book. Not great, but it's okay.
But are you sure it got better, or did you just become acclimated to the pain?
Yeah, that might be it too. Like when you're in a room that smells like shit for a while, you become immune to the smell of shit.
Right.
It's just background noise. You kind of, so maybe that's it. But so there's a limit to my fandom. There really is. I call out the bullshit when I see the bullshit, and I just don't eat things fucking whole because I'm supposed to. And I think Star Wars fans do that. They've done that since episode 1 to now. They just have. And so it divides the fandom because some of us are a little more discerning than others. And that's the bottom line. I mean, I don't like, there are things that I am willing to spend money on for Star Wars, and there's a lot of shit that I am not.
Yeah. Did you guys catch the Office Space reference?
Yeah.
TPS
reports. Yeah.
Yep. That was pretty nice.
So I got a question for you. Season finale next week, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We're leading up to the fact that, or we're leading up, it looks like, to go see Gideon. Do you think this is going to be a Magnificent Seven type of situation where he goes and gets all his pals that he's made friends with all season? Specifically, you're not Ahsoka, but Bo-Katan's looking for the Darksaber, specifically Gideon. He knows where Gideon is.
No.
Do you think we're going to see? You don't think we're going to see them?
Nope. I absolutely not.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because that would mean that Moff Gideon dies at the end of this season, and it's looking more and more like Moff Gideon is just going to be the big bad for the whole kit and caboodle of the show.
Yeah, I think they would have started establishing
what if
a new
he doesn't?
big bad.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't die? What if it's what if she just gets the saber at that point?
No, because then you can't have
the
an
saber
episode
and
of
the
the
baby
week next season. No,
Okay.
like that's not going to be the thing. It's going to be he's going to get
Do we
Yoda
get
back.
Yoda
Baby
back?
Yoda. Yeah, he's going to get Baby
Okay.
Yoda back because I refuse to say that other word. It's just stupid. So he's going to get the child back.
What word is that?
I don't remember it. And then he's going to go off into the sunset to try to find something. But it's going to be I don't think they're going to leave it on a cliffhanger. I might be wrong. But they didn't leave it on a cliffhanger last season, and they certainly knew while doing it, like we're at least getting 2 seasons out of this.
Yeah, they left it on a cliffhanger. At the very end of the episode, they showed Moff Gideon cutting out of the TIE fighter with the Darksaber.
That's that's not a
that wasn't much of
that's
that wasn't much of a cliffhanger. That's just that's a little bit of
Cliffhanger.
okay, the dude's not dead.
Yeah,
we'll see
a
him.
cliffhanger is fucking Picard coming on screen going, "I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile." That is a cliffhanger.
See you in a year.
Right. This is not like that was not a cliffhanger. It's just like, oh, he didn't die. He's obviously the big bad next season. That's all that was.
The only slight cliffhanger might have been the what the fuck is he doing with the Darksaber? And again, that's fanboys. That's fan service right there. Jason didn't know what the Darksaber was.
Yeah,
right?
but it's so ingrained in Mandalorian lore and Mandalorian history.
But if you're not
showing
a fan,
the
you wouldn't
Darksaber and
know.
that he still has it. It's a setup for season 2. So my only question is, how are they going to set up season 3? Because basically Mando at the end of the season dropped the fucking mic on Moff Gideon and said, "I'm coming for your ass."
Yeah,
like, there's not a lot
used
you
his
can do
own
about
words
this.
against him.
Yeah,
that's
like,
the
there's not a
same
lot you
thing that
could
he
do.
said.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure out. Yeah, I couldn't figure out why they kept showing that same speech by Gideon. I'm like, dude, this is like the second episode where we hear this same little cutback. Why? Right. And then that thing comes out, and I started laughing. I was like, oh hell yeah.
So
I was like, yeah, that's right.
I think we're gonna get a Jedi at the end of the episode.
Oh, for fuck's sake, probably.
I think that'll be the coming up next
Luke,
season.
I'm calling it right now. Luke.
I don't think it'll be Luke.
Nope.
You're not going to see a Jedi in this show. You're not going to see a constant Jedi in this show. So if you are a Star Wars fanboy and you want a Jedi on this show all the time, it is called The Mandalorian.
No, I get that.
If you want a Jedi, wait for Ahsoka. You're not going to get that. It'll be Luke, and Luke's going to say, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any trainees right now. I'm sorry. I've got a lot to deal with. I'm about to have a nephew I might kill. So I need you to just figure it out, man. Just figure it out.
Well, because at this point in time, Luke and Leia are doing their little training thing.
What if the
they're doing
Jedi's
their
Leia?
kind of ancestral thing in the forest.
What if they turn this into Leia was a Jedi and Leia is the Jedi who shows up? Because they've already done that bullshit with her face.
Didn't they establish that she was a Jedi in the 3rd movie?
Yeah. She was it's stupid. Because they had a retcon what Rian Johnson did when she married Poppin through space. So what if they do that? What if they just retcon this even more and be like, oh yeah, she's a fucking Jedi the whole time. So she's the one that shows up and is like, I've never seen a Yoda before. What the fuck is a Yoda?
Well, no,
I don't know.
I thought she was training to be one, and then decided against it and said that she said she could do more good as a general or whatever in the resistance.
Yeah,
she made a lightsaber
on the political side.
Yeah, she made a lightsaber and everything.
Well, you do that as a Padawan.
Look, fucking Ryan Johnson retcon shit, and then fucking JJ had a retcon with Ryan Johnson retcon, so it's been retconned to fucking death. Nobody really knows what the fuck it is. If it's Leia, she's going to come and she's going to say, this is what it's going to be. Whatever Jedi shows up is going to say, he chooses you. He doesn't choose to be a Jedi. He doesn't choose to do the training. He chooses to go with you.
But he's already had some training, right? He had training in the Jedi Temple in the
But
Old
if you
Republic.
don't use it, you lose it.
Well, what if
okay,
they
so
kill Moff Gideon?
ignoring that dumb bullshit, he's obviously shown that he can use Force powers. Wouldn't it be irresponsible for them to turn their back on him and not try to develop his? Yeah, I know the Jedi are fucking
The Jedi
few
are
and far
dicks.
between. Well, they're few and far between. They don't have the capacity. I mean, we don't know when this happens, right? Because Filoni's an idiot, and he came out and said, we don't know where this is in the timeline. Blah, 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 blah. It might have been right before, while Ahsoka was searching for Thrawn, or it might have been after.
Well, no,
Thrawn and Ezra were. They haven't said it.
I thought this was 6 years after Empire or Jedi.
Filoni,
No, what they were, no. What Filoni said is you don't know when that
last episode
scene
of Rebels
happened. Yeah, where she's looking for him or what have you.
Well,
you
no,
don't
we do
know when that happened.
Well, we know it happened after the Empire fell because it said.
Right. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
But you
as
don't
much
know
as you
when
know, but
after
you don't
that.
know how many years after.
So you don't know where
Okay.
that scene falls in terms of the scene where Ahsoka shows
So
up.
if this is still
that
so
scene
if
could
this-
happen after all of this happened.
or before.
or before, or during.
Or
Who fucking
before,
knows
but
with
we don't
Filoni?
Right. Yeah, and I don't care because
At
he's
the
an
same
idiot.
time.
Right.
Yeah, there could be
Scissoring
two
through space.
Ahsokas.
That's the only.
It
Well,
could be a
if
Force
there's two
Ghost.
Ahsokas,
It could be a Luke
To make
Skywalker
it
Force
scissor
Ghost,
through
man.
space. Yes.
scissors through space. Yes, that's all I'm saying. Filoni, direct that shit. That's the only shit
Wait
I'll
a
watch
minute.
from you. Happily.
What if when she's scissoring through space, her powers get better, get greater, and
Because she-
that's why she
Well,
can
yeah.
force project so far.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's
Yeah.
tied to her scissoring emotions.
Anyway, I think
The
whatever
more
Jedi
she
shows up,
scissors, the stronger she gets.
they're going to say they're not in any position to take him because they're rebuilding the Jedi, from the ground up, and Master Luke is doing whatever, and he's really worried about his nephew, and fucking he's going to say, and besides, the child chooses you, Mando. Like, that's the bottom line. It's going to be the Baby Yoda and Mandalorian show, and they're going to go off, and he's going to try to raise the child. Now, if they were smart, they would fast forward 50 years when Mandalorian's dead and the Baby Yoda is now a teenager Baby Yoda and going through adolescence, and he has to deal with the Mandalorian dying, and then he turns evil. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's not a show I would watch.
I'd watch it.
Only if when he turns evil, he has a mustache and
Goatee.
eats souls.
Why does he have
Goatee.
a mustache if he's always wearing a helmet?
I don't know.
No, not the Mandalorian, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Oh, why does the Mandalorian have a mustache?
Yeah, he always wears a helmet. Why does he have a mustache? Nobody gets to see it. He doesn't
It
even
makes
get
him
to see
feel
it.
macho.
I guess he gets to see it on occasion whenever he
Macho
takes a
Mando.
shower or trims his mustache.
No,
Yes.
he never takes that helmet off. So
No, he does take the helmet
So
off.
what
he just
we're
doesn't
seeing-
take it off in front of people.
right. So what we're seeing now is he's starting to question what he was taught.
Who?
He
What?
took it off. The Mandalorian. He took it
No.
off.
He
to
did what he
finish a
had
job.
to do. That's
right.
not questioning.
He took it off
that's
to
not
finish.
questioning anything.
No. That I think it's he is realigning his
No.
belief. I think.
Nope.
I'm not
Nope,
sure that
you're
he's
reading
questioning
too far
his
into it.
beliefs. I think that he made a judgment call in the moment because maybe he holds the safety of Baby Yoda over his cult-like.
It is his charge.
100%.
Fascination with his helmet.
Well, but what I'm saying, okay, so if he hadn't met Bo-Katan and found out that
I don't think it would have
helmet
mattered.
thing isn't necessarily the way.
Nope.
Do you think he would have done it?
I don't think. I think he still would have done it.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, 100%. I think Disney is sending a subliminal messages to some parents out there that parenting greater than cosplaying.
Oh, okay.
And there might be some parents that need to hear that. I'm just saying, parenting greater than cosplay.
All right.
Oh, Rob. So you got a haiku for us
I've
this
got a
week?
haiku. Yep, I do.
Let's tiptoe out of that minefield.
Yeah, the tiptoe, man. We just kind of just dropped it and noped the hell out
Yeah,
of
I
there.
stepped on that motherfucker. I don't know what you mean tiptoe.
Yeah,
I stomped on it.
I'm trying to get us out of it. Shut up.
No.
Rob, give us a haiku.
No. You didn't step on it. You stepped on it. You're still there. And we walked off. We said, good luck.
We noped
I'm
the fuck
throwing
out.
fucking grenades at you two at this point.
Come back here. Don't you leave me here. All right. So this one is titled Ode to James.
God.
All right. So
Ridium goes boom. Star Wars great train robbery. Fudge rounds taste so good.
wow. All right. So for those of you who don't know, Rob didn't have a haiku ready today. And so this is what he threw together. And he thought, instead of a shitty haiku, I'll eat while saying a shitty haiku. And then
And that
then
will
go into
elevate
some
it.
kind of, diabetic coma afterwards.
Hey, you laughed. That's all I care about.
Oh, what's the Mando kill count up to this week?
Mando kill count. Well, he was busy today. He got himself 20 kills. Most of that was from those pirates. There was like 15 pirates, and then another 5 that he shot when they decided to Leroy Jenkins themselves out of the base.
So who else thought that those supposed pirates were actually freedom fighters trying to get rid of the Imperials?
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I did. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're freedom fighters or the villagers,
Disgruntled villagers.
trying to
Kind of the same thing.
disgruntled villagers. Yeah, trying to get rid of the imps. Yeah, you hurt them enough, maybe they'll leave. They didn't anticipate the Mandalorian kicking their ass.
Yeah, they picked that wrong
and
transport,
blowing
didn't they?
them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they should have quit when they were ahead. Like, they blew up 2 transports. 3, they just got fucking greedy.
No. So they blew up. I mean, if it's all set, if it all comes down to it, that was transport number 4 that they were on. So
well,
did
then they
transport
got
1
super
make it?
greedy.
Yeah.
No, I thought they blew up.
yeah.
I thought they only blew up 2.
We saw 2 blow up.
Yeah, we saw
but
2.
they
but
drove by flaming wreckage already. When
they got
they're
super
at the beginning
greedy.
before. Yeah, they're at the beginning before they started blowing up. They went by some flaming wreckage.
The first rule of guerrilla warfare is quit while you're fucking ahead. Like, you don't have the numbers to take on as much as they tried to take on. So that's on them. Now I don't feel bad for them if they really were freedom fighters. Like, fuck them. They're idiots anyway. They should have stopped at 1.
should have stopped it. Well, I don't know. They took out 3 before they hit the 4th one, and it had, the Mando. In fact, they probably would have taken out 4 if it hadn't have been.
Yeah, but how tactically unsound is that? At that point, you've taken out 1. The element of surprise is over. Like, everyone's preparing. And by the time you get to the 4th one, Jesus Christ.
Well, you do them all.
They're super prepared.
Well, you do them all at the same time.
Yeah, and they lost.
You don't
3
do one
skiffs
after another.
at that time.
Yeah,
so,
but they didn't.
I mean,
No, they
I would
did.
have thought after the first skiff that they lost against Transport 4,
Yeah, they should have
they
noped
would
the
have
fuck
said,
out
okay,
at that point.
let's quit while we're ahead.
Right. You do one another day, you do one another day. Like, it's just the element of surprise. Like, that's how guerrilla warfare works. Doing what they did was greedy and dumb. And if they were pirates, why were they blowing them up? Because pirates typically want booty. There's no
ass pirates,
booty
for sure.
when you blow it up. So yeah, I 100% think that they are freedom fighters. Like, I don't know why they called them pirates.
All right, so next week we're going to discuss the season finale of The Mandalorian. It's chapter 16 without a title according to IMDb, where we'll get to see Gus Fring again, and probably some Boba Fett, probably some Ming-Na Wen, and maybe some Gina Carano. Somebody's going to die. You just know that's going to happen. I'm sure that the Mandalorian's going to pick up Baby Yoda, and then they'll go to have ice cream or something. So it should be an interesting
Chicken
episode.
nuggies,
We'll see
or
if they can
those blue cookies.
Right. We'll see if they can end on the high note that they've had for the last 2, maybe 3 episodes. But I wouldn't count on it, just because season 2 is kind of sucked for the most part. But here's crossing our fingers. Hopefully that'll happen.
It's going to be a shit episode. I really think it is. I think it's going to try to set up for season 3, and it's going to fail miserably.
Yeah, we'll see.
I hope I'm wrong.
We'll see. Well, that's all we got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord. On Twitter at @Cetus_podcast, or you can email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace@outlook.com, but you didn't say it with such flair.
Yeah.
If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon, and make sure to visit Creative Brain Candy for more great shows and other creative works at creativebraincandy.com. For this week, I am Jason.
HTTPS out. I'm out of fudge rounds.
Good.
Play it, Jason. Play it.
Should I?
Do it.
Yes.
I'm not sure I should.
Do it.
Take care. Lots of love.
Oh,
Bye.
Gina. Don't say bye. Don't say bye. Say hello. Call me. Oh,
God.
Sean. Lots of love to you, baby. Lots of my love to you.
We'll talk to you next week.
Oh, hey, it's just me and you.
Oh, it's just me and you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the show.
Perfect.
This week, everybody. You want to do the outro?
So,
or you want me to?
yeah, I'll do it. Ready?
Yeah, go for it.
So, hold on. So I've got to read this because the last time I did this was a long time ago. So that is our show next week. I'm actually not going to read it. That is our show. Stay tuned next week. We will be reviewing
Chapter
the last
16.
Episode.
Chapter 16.
Yeah, chapter 16, the last episode of The Mandalorian.
Of season 2. Last episode of season 2.
Of season 2
finale.
Yeah. Season 2 finale. That's right. Thanks for joining us. You can catch our stuff on different things. There's like Podcrawl, Podcast, Pine Needle, bunch of different things.
He wants us to go down to Discord. Like, get out of this and go to Discord.
No.
Yeah,
Fuck that. Let's finish this.
Let's
finish this. Hold on. No. Hold on. Because this will be fun. Let me finish this. Hold on 1 second. All right. So the intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord, on Twitter at Satis Podcast, or email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace@outlook.com. If you would like to throw a few nickels our way, become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. Visit Creative Brain Candy for more great shows and other creative works at creativebraincandy.com. There you can join our Discord server or become a Patreon supporter. For this week, I am Rob.
Oh, Gina Gashan. Oh, that love's still in that box, baby. Call me. I'll give it back to you tenfold, sweetheart. Yeah.
All All right. And we will see you next time.
Okay, so
all right, we're back in here.
I don't know what happened there. That's fucked up.
Okay. Well, it's fine. We're done.
Rob ended the show.
Finished the show. The show's done. We ended it.
No, it's not.
It's done. No, really, it is. We ended it.
Well, good, because I'm gonna cut all that shit out.
No. It's good. It's fine. I read the outro and everything.
No. We're not doing that. Nope. You don't get to host because of a technicality.
Damn straight I do.
No, you don't.
That's the only way I can host is because of technicalities. I know.
That's right.
And you even let me get through it.
I did. I didn't start fucking you up till the very end.
and it didn't faze me.
That'll be fun to listen to. Yeah.
I kept hammering on through.